In those 8 seconds, or I like to call them the 8 seconds of dying, when I know I've gone into cardiac arrest, you get this dread feeling, you get sickness. I know when it's going to happen. I'm living a normal life and I just happen to drop dead every now and again. I'm Jamie, I'm 29 and I've died 9 times. When I was 20, I literally just dropped dead at a train station. They took 45 minutes of CPR. I woke up a week later from a coma. Second time was at my cousin's. Third time went straight into cardiac arrest. The fourth time I was walking up the stairs of my office. Actually, no, sorry. I need to cut that because that's 6. And I woke up and I was at the bottom of the stairs, sprawled. So the 7th time, walking to work again, stupidly, I went back to work. I wake up and a freelancer is cradling my head towards the ground and so everybody's looking at me. The 8th time, I got shaved in front of 300 people at the airport. The 9th time, I actually remember seeing the physiologist slam the emergency stop button on the treadmill. He actually yelled out, "I need some help in here." I have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is a genetic heart condition that causes your muscles to swell and grow bigger than what it should, which causes complications. I have a ICD implanted, which is an implantable cardioverter defibrillator.
Out. Okay, flatten your back, breathe in.
That device acts as my last resort, so when my heart goes into an arrhythmia and sort of heads towards cardiac arrest, it picks that up and monitors it, and then if necessary delivers a defibrillation or a shock that sort of resets the system. This is the worst part, I'm just gelling up. About 3 years ago, I actually had probably the scariest sort of doctor's appointment I've ever had, where Dr. Vanova sort of told me that my heart probably wouldn't last another 5 years, so transplant may be the only option that can help me live a longer life.
I'm pleased that we've had stability with the rhythm side of things, which is your main issue, and why we even referred you to Harefield to be considered for transplantation. Jamie has hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, which is not an uncommon condition. Some individuals with the condition can run into issues with risk of sudden collapse or even sudden death. Jamie has a more severe form of it, and to have that many appropriate shocks is quite unusual. However, we do know that it is possible to have a rhythm abnormality that, if you sort it out, is then fully compatible with getting on and getting on with life. You always want to support every patient to do some aerobic exercise, but in you I'm more hesitant than I would be because of the shocks you've had in the past.
It's weird advice to hear from a doctor, but walking and maybe even cycling at a slow speed is the most that I'm allowed to do. Stairs seem to be my mortal enemy in a way. It's actually sort of in trial, I think, at the moment, so I'm being a bit of a test dummy on whether or not that helps people with my condition. But, you know, why not? We've got pterodactyl. I like to say that I've had every near-death experience possible. I've had the out-of-body experience, I've had the white light, the golden light experience. I don't believe in the afterlife, but obviously after experiencing these firsthand, I can definitely understand why people believe. Am I scared of death? Definitely. It is a horrible thing to go through, and just the thought of knowing that I may not wake up after having one of these events, that's like my biggest fear. I'd like to think that I now have a broader outlook on life. If I have spare money, I want to expend it on experiences and travel and sort of seeing the world. Obviously, a lot of the theme park rides and experiences often say, do not ride these with a heart condition. I like to ignore them. I think I'm risking a little bit more just for that moments of experience. It's quite funny, every time my mum calls, she asks me, have you died this week? Which, you know, I'm happy to answer, not this week. Technology is moving at a rapid pace, and who knows, I might have my own custom heart built out of stem cells. we don't know what's coming. So as long as I can live long enough to see those sort of improvements, then I'm happy.